Coming to you live from the Business RadioX studio in Woodstock, Georgia. This is Fearless Formula with Sharon Klein.
Welcome to Fearless Formula Friday on Business RadioX, where we talk about the ups and downs of the business world and offer words of wisdom for business success. I'm your host, Sharon Klein, and today we have the owner of a really cool restaurant sort of place here in Woodstock, and it's like got artwork that you don't even want to eat. It's so beautiful, but you got to eat it because it's so delicious. Please welcome Ashley Grier, who's the co-owner and artist of the Board and Box Charcuterie. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
So, okay, we were talking a little bit before the show about what it's like to have, it's like a restaurant, but you also do catering, you also do big events, and how people can kind of, I don't know, seem to not get the concept of how cool your place is. So why don't you explain it?
Okay, so I have a lot of different hats that I wear. I have a lot of creativity in my brain, so it just spews out in all kinds of different ways. But I specialize in luxury charcuterie. What I'm most known for are my grazing tables, and those are artfully designed and decorated. I don't even know how to describe it. I guess I stage.
Yes.
And then also stage food as well. It's a whole vibe. And you just have to look me up on Instagram to actually see what I'm talking about. But I do grazing tables. I do charcuterie cone walls with charcuterie cones. And then I have a charcuterie little cart that we made with an umbrella. And those are individual boxes. I do boards and boxes for pickup. And then I also recently just acquired a golf cart where I will be doing free delivery for downtown Woodstock. So you can be sitting at Reformation, and if you're like, I don't really want anything around here, you can call me and I'll make you charcuterie and drive it down to you on the golf cart.
Oh my gosh, how clever is that? You do this currently?
Yes. So I'm actually in the process of moving to my new location.
So where are you now and where are you moving to?
Well, I'm in my new space. I'm just not open to the public until hopefully next week. But I am now at on Main Street in a brand new white brick building. And the address is 9058 Main Street, Unit 108.
I was watching some of your Instagram posts, like you're doing the painting and everything and just making it so beautiful inside. What is it like to be in your own place like this? I mean, you're making it your own.
Yeah, so I bought the business a year ago, April, and the person I bought the business from had their own space on Highway 92. That one didn't really feel like me, so I kind of did a little paint here and there, but once that lease was up, I found my way into downtown Woodstock, and that was the place I was at previously was in the old Snowmies location.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know you were there. No
that's
kidding.
Where I was.
Okay.
It was really tight for a little while, but we made it work, and it got me into downtown. So that's what I really love. And I couldn't really have people in there. It's really small.
I haven't been inside. I didn't know.
Oh, it's tiny. And I used to do workshops, and so I've been on this journey of finding where's my permanent home? Where is my board and box?
Yes.
And I love my new location. It's 2 stories.
Wow.
And it's really awesome to have like a blank canvas and a vision and just get to do whatever I want. And so my bottom floor is going to be workshop space. I can also rent it out for wedding showers or baby showers or birthday parties. And then, you know, I have endless ideas. And so one of the things that I just thought of this week is I'm going to kind of pitch it as a micro wedding option.
Really?
So that people don't, you know, a lot of people go to the courthouse or things like that. This can be an alternative to that because we can, it's already decorated really cool, but then we can bring in charcuterie. We have a minister that can do it. We can make a whole package. And so anybody that wants to do that, 15 or less, we can rent the space out for that. Any private parties or businesses that are looking to hold continuing education classes or things like that. So it's not just a charcuterie place. It's also a micro event space as well. And then upstairs is just my prep area and my office and things like that. But downstairs, I'm super excited. I can't wait to have people actually come in.
Can you imagine saying, I would like to get married at the courthouse, and like what that feels like? Do you know what I mean? Very sterile and sort of one purpose, but to imagine a whole different feeling, a celebration, so to speak.
Yeah.
Small, but still like intimate. I love the notion of that because it's one-stop shop. Yeah. You know?
And we can make it fun and
beautiful.
Yeah.
Instagram worthy or whatever.
I've already had people asking if they can do family photos in my new space.
Really?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, if you want to rent it out, I'll rent it out for anything. Yeah. But I have like a velvet couch in there, and it's really pretty. I have this humongous picture frame, and I've just put quirky things in there because I'm quirky. So I've got like disco balls hanging in there in the window. This morning when I came in, the disco balls were like casting I don't know, sparkles on the ceiling, and it's just fun. It's fun, and I wanted it to be quirky and girly and a place that is memorable, I guess, because we're kind of on the outskirts of the main street.
Got you.
So I've got to have a place where people are like, oh, have you checked out that place down there? It's really cool.
What I like is that you're talking about a reflection of you and how that must feel to walk into a place that feels like you. You're looking at things that reflect who you are. It must feel so good.
Yeah. And one thing that I'm doing in there, which is just something personal, I'm trying to put a nod to like each of my family members in there. Oh, wow. So my dad, he's retired from the railroad. He used to drive the train here through Woodstock.
No way.
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
When did that end for him?
Oh, gosh. It's been several years now.
But he used to come right through here?
Yeah.
He must have seen so many changes over the years.
Oh, yeah. And when I was little, before they had like regulations and stuff, I got to ride in the engine with him, and I would get to blow the horn and wave at people.
It. And now you have your store?
I just saw the train go by this morning, and I see it, and it goes by. I'm like, oh, I love it. And so I have my dad gave me some like really nice model trains that I haven't really known what to do with. So they're now in my store, in my window.
Oh, for your dad?
Yep.
How cute.
My grandmother passed away in February. I'm like super close to her. And I just put like this wooden heart that was from her funeral. It had these really beautiful flowers on it. So that's hanging on the wall. So that's like a representation of my grandmother. My brother growing up like had endless army men all over the house all the time. So I found some like oversized army men, and I spray painted them pink and put glitter on them, and they're in my store now. And
pink army men.
I know. Yeah. So like little things like that are meaningful to me. Other people just think, what the heck is she doing in here? But I don't care.
Have you always been creative?
Yes. I was a hairstylist for 17 years.
Oh, wow. I was going to ask you what your background was before Board and Box.
Yeah.
So
I did hair, and then I have 3 kids. I'm a mom, and I hated doing hair, but that's all. I started doing it in high school, and that's all I've known how to do for a long time. So I've kind of been on this little journey of, what do I want to be when I grow up? And so I've tried different things over the past few years, and this one just stuck, and I love it. And it's like I get to create art every day, and nothing is ever the same. It's awesome. I love it.
What's neat too, you get to meet so many different people in different happy moments of their lives. You know, like an opening for I saw you at the opening for Stone's wife's artwork that she did at the Reeves house down the street. And when I walked in, I could not believe how beautiful it was. You had flowers that I'd never seen before.
Those are from the Pop-Up Poppy here in downtown Woodstock.
Yes, I am in touch with her to be on the show.
Love them.
I can't wait because it's interesting. It's not like you're getting flowers from any grocery store or something, but you really added that extra special element to it, not just with flowers, but the way that you set it up was so lovely. I mean, like, it does make you think I should not be touching this. What is salami? I don't know. What other things do you have?
So I loved that one that I did for Stone because, number one, it was in an art gallery area, and the table had paint all over it, and it just was so cool because this is where artists sat and work. And the rawness of all of the paint on the table, it just was awesome. And Stone said I could, just decorate it how you want. Well, how do you want to do it? Because a lot of times I ask my clients, like, do you want this vibe? Do you want that? And he said I can do whatever I want. So I brought my golden peacocks and my golden monkeys and my disco balls. And then the pop-up poppy, she's gotten to know me quite well. I use her for all of my grazing tables. And so that's included is a floral package with my grazing tables. And so for that one, I just said, I'm quirky. I like weird flowers. I like just do, we did a consultation and she nailed it for me. I loved them. So now when I have certain events, I'll either say, okay, this person, they're having a garden party. I need white flowers. Or I'll say, oh, I want my style of flowers. And she knows exactly what I mean. So yeah, that's really cool. That's another connection I've made here in downtown Woodstock. And her florals are gorgeous and they just add to the tables perfectly.
So how did you find out that the board and box was open to be bought?
Was
it
accident.
Like a friend of a friend? Sometimes it's serendipity. Do you know what I mean? Like timing. You'll just be in a store somewhere and someone will say.
It was timing because previous to this, I told you I tried a lot of little things here and there to figure out what I wanted to do. Yeah. And I had started a luxury picnic company. So I was doing luxury picnics and I would purchase charcuterie to go with my packages for the luxury picnics. And I had this large event down in Buckhead that I was doing for Mother's Day celebration last year, and I needed charcuterie for it. And so I had to find someone that's licensed because that is an issue. There's a lot of people that do charcuterie out of their home, and you cannot do it out of your home. That is not, you cannot get a cottage license to do charcuterie. And so as far as I know, there's only 3 of us in the whole county that are actually licensed. So all of the posts that you see on Cherokee Connect, it's a bit frustrating. I'm not going to lie. I try to, we have a lot of overhead.
Yeah, you have to do it the right way. Yeah.
So I needed someone for that event that was licensed and insured. And I approached Christy from the Board and Box, and she said, honestly, I have a full-time job. This was supposed to be a hobby. It's like become a full-time job. I'm exhausted. I just want to sell it. Do you know anybody that wants to buy it? And I said, no, I'll ask around though. Because at the time I was like, I had never done charcuterie ever before. And so I asked a friend who she's actually getting ready to open up a store in like Upper Canton towards Waleska. And she's exclusively gluten-free. You should have her on the show because there's a big need for gluten-free people.
I would love to talk to her.
Hers is called The Local Graze. And I asked her, and it just wasn't the right timing or anything. And so then I asked a couple more people, and then I just thought, I'm creative. I bet I could figure this out. It goes great with my picnics. what if we buy it? So we bought it, and there were orders like pending. And I got in there the first day, and I was like, what did I do? This looks awful.
No.
The first one, one day I'm going to post my very first board so that people can see because it was just, I'm so sorry to whoever got that first board. But, in the beginning, like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. So I started following all of these accounts on Instagram. I just searched charcuterie, and everyone has all of these like beautiful arrangements and things. And I tried to mimic some of the stuff that other people did, and it just didn't work for me. My brain does not work that way. And so the minute that I started putting quirkiness and design into things that were just aesthetically different than a lot of other charcuterie companies, that's when things really took off for me. So I just said, you know what? This is how I like to do it, and people will either like it or they won't. And there's other charcuterie companies that they could go to if they don't like my style. That's okay. I'm not for everybody.
Well, it's interesting that you were talking about having someone else's style kind of be the way that you would do it. But the minute you connected to yourself, it opened up for you.
Yeah.
And that's almost like a lesson for me to stop trying to mimic what I think would work out in the world and really just listen to my own self. Because I tend to play it safe. Oh, well, if this works for somebody else, well, of course I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you have to be authentic to who you are. I think once you become really authentic to yourself, just like my space, like some people don't get it. I mean, it is a bright teal color. Actually, the deep teal is the technical name of the color. But I mean, it's quirky. It's weird. And some people will walk in and be like, what the heck is this place? What are you doing in here? And other people can appreciate the art. And those are my clients. And the other people aren't. And that's okay. So that's kind of been a lesson to myself as well, is like, you're not going to please everybody. And that's hard for me because I'm a people pleaser.
I know, me too. Me too. It's hard. I was just talking to someone about voiceover work recently and how I want to tailor my voice to what I think the client wants. But anytime I've gotten a job, it's really just, and I mean, it's statistically, it has just been me just saying what I think that they would want to hear, the way I think that they would want to hear it, but like still me. Mm-hmm. I didn't change the pitch or whatever. And it's been a huge lesson for me that what is meant to be mine will be mine, because the truth is I don't know exactly what the client exactly mm-hmm. wants, and it's very subjective. So the most authentic I am to me and the jobs that come, it feels so, there's like a little joy because mm-hmm. It was meant to be mine then because I'm not compromising myself at all. And so this is like a really big theme that I've been seeing in my life. And I'm happy to see somebody else have that same theme too.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big lesson.
It definitely is. I think over the years, I've had to learn that as well. Not just in like charcuterie or business or things like that. It's just getting older. And then you also realize, you know, I don't care what other people think so much. Like, it's okay. I think I've had to tell myself that a lot. Even during this process, I'm like, but what if that's just too weird for some people? It's okay. It's not for everybody.
Well, I like that you're saying that who's meant to get it will get it, and they're supposed to be associated with you this way. And that the people who don't get it really aren't meant to get it, I guess.
Yeah, so I have a cool story.
Oh, I love cool stories.
I had an unhappy client recently, and I let it get me down, like bad. They never outright said that they were unhappy, but I could just tell. And it was a grazing table, and I was so proud of it. To me, it looked amazing. And there was tons of food, and I think that's something else that people don't realize. Like, because of the way that I design mine, it's not a table just, you know, food thrown on a table and it takes up the whole table. Like, mine is elements of design on stools and on, like, obviously food-safe surfaces, but it's just different. And so I don't know if they had looked at my work before, but she said that I brought too much decor and not enough food. And I'm like, oh, this is enough. I promise it's enough. I mean, my husband said I shouldn't say this. I'm going to say it anyway. I have never had anybody run out of food on a grazing table. And so I don't know. I could tell that she didn't like me. Honestly, I felt like I got treated a little differently when she saw my tattoos.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that it was just a case of no matter what I do, I'm not going to make her happy. And so the next day I had a grazing table, and I had just been crying, and I was in my head and all of this stuff. And the lady that had hired me for this wedding shower, it was just the two of us in the garage. And she said, I just want you to know, like, this is incredible. I'm from California. I haven't seen anything like this. It's like, this is next level. This is what you're doing is amazing. And so I instantly started crying because I was already sensitive, and I was like, oh my God, this is so unprofessional. I'm so sorry I'm crying, but I had my first unhappy customer yesterday. And she was like, excuse me, what? Like, somebody was unhappy with what you just did for us in here? And I said, yeah. And she grabbed me by my hands and made me look her in the eyes. And she said, stop it. You were made for this. You are incredible. And I was like bawling my eyes out. And she just gave, well, first of all, words of affirmation is my love language. And so she just like sat there and spoke into me like she knew me, or like that I was her kid, or, you know, and it was just the coolest moment, and I needed that. And I was just like, you have no idea what that just did for me. That was a moment that will stick with me for forever. And then she brought me in. She was like, okay, go wash your face. You're fine. And this was when I had come to clean up their event. Oh. So it was after the whole thing was over and everybody was just going on about how amazing it was. And so then she brought me into the room and said, everybody, I need you to stop because someone told her that she was not good at what she's doing. And that is just insane. And so then she had like all of these people telling me that I did such a good job, and I was like, oh my God, this is really embarrassing, but also I really need this. And so I don't even know why I went into that story, but that is something that stuck with me.
It's important because it was a kindness that was done to you, and sometimes people can pick up on the energy of something that you need like that. That's never happened to me, and I can't even imagine if someone took my hands and said those things.
Oh, and that's what triggered. I told you I have ADHD. She said the right people are going to come into your life, and they're going to appreciate the art that you do. And the other people, forget them. Like, those are not your people, but the right people are going to pay what you're worth, and they are going to come into your life, and you'll be just fine. And I will keep you in business.
Oh, how sweet was that?
I know. So I loved that moment. It was really cool.
Do you have a favorite event that you did? Because I was looking at your website. I mean, there is not one event that you could not be part of, I think. And I love that because you're so adaptable.
Mm-hmm. I love a good theme. Gosh. I really love all of the events. I mean, I know that's really silly, but
it's a good
there's
answer.
One in particular that it's not typically my style, but I really love doing it. It was for a little boy that was an adoption celebration. And it wasn't my most beautiful one ever because it was superhero themed. So that I had to get out of my
flowers and pretty.
Yep, out of my comfort zone there. But I had bought these like towers, and we customized cotton candy for him and customized popcorn. And he's 11. And he has been with that family. I think they were maybe fostered him or something. So this was a huge celebration that they had finally gotten to officially adopt him. And just being a part of that event was really, really cool. I loved that one.
There's a lot of heart in that one.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, just sometimes I feel like every time I do an event, I'm like, oh, this one's my favorite. I loved the one with Stone. Yeah. Even though it was one of my smaller grazing tables. I just thought that one was really cool.
It was beautiful.
Also, I got permission to do what I wanted. So that was always cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to pick an actual favorite. I did do a really cool one recently. That was a graduation party, and it was in this person's garage. And when I say garage, I mean it was the size of normal people's houses, and they had all of their like really cool cars, classic cars in there.
Oh my
and
goodness.
That one was really cool because it was just, I don't know, it was in the location of that one was awesome.
So different, so varied. Yeah. Right? The different scenes.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
How do you manage, or how did you manage feeling brave on taking on something that you had never done before?
Ooh. I guess I love trying new things, but in my head, I thought people are going to look at me and say, oh, look, she's starting another business, or, oh, look, she's doing another business. Because like I said, I'd sold jewelry, I'd sold this, I'd sold that. And it was just trying to find what my passion was. I didn't know because I've done the same thing since high school. And then like I said, I've got 3 kids. I'm a mom. And I think that was something that I had to get out of my own head about is being brave and just saying, you know what, who cares? The people that matter in my life don't care if this is another business. Something else I've also learned is entrepreneurs are really cool people. And I think people that are not entrepreneurs, sometimes there's a disconnect because they don't understand what all you have to do and put into doing a business. It becomes your life. That's all you talk about most of the time. And it's not a 9 to 5. It's a 24/7. I mean, it's a lot.
How do you balance yourself, though? We talk about this on the show a lot.
There's the answer. I haven't found that balance yet.
No, but like, do you shut off your phone when it's dinner time, or not shut it off, but silence it? Or like, what do you do? Because that is a big issue for a lot of small business owners, is that if they're not answering, then they're missing business.
Yeah, I need better boundaries. No, but like I said, I'm a mom of 3. My kids have been with their dad for this whole month, which is hard, but also it's been really convenient since I've been moving locations. I try my best that once I get home to not do it, but then I worry about losing business, and so it's a hard balance, and I need to set better boundaries. Now that I have my new location, I'm going to have like hard cutoff hours. So if you put in a booking request, because my booking requests come immediately, they ping to my phone.
Oh, wow.
And so if you don't get to them quickly enough, like your chances of booking it go down drastically. And I have booking requests come in a lot, and I just need to say, like realize it's okay if I don't get to them right away. I'll get to them tomorrow. But it's been really hard because I have a son. You've seen him before.
Yes.
Well, I have 3 sons, but this past year I have been homeschooling him. So that has also been really challenging. Trying to make sure I homeschool and grow a business. And my housework is really, my laundry is piling up. But you know what? That's okay.
So would you describe a charcuterie board to people who maybe are not familiar? Because we talked about this before the show, that some people don't get it, and I get it, but I'm wondering what you would say to someone who doesn't get what a charcuterie board is.
I'm just going to say, a lot of times men don't understand my business, and that's okay.
It's funny because it's like men specifically so far have, not all men, but some men have not gotten what your business is.
There's a good bit of men that don't really understand my business, and I have to literally pull up videos and show them, and then it's like, oh, well, that's fancy. I'm like, yes, it's. So we grew up on the time of Lunchables, right? So it's basically like bougie Lunchables, very extremely bougie Lunchables. It is salami that I guess my signature is I always have like roses, salami roses on my board. And, I have a armful of tattoos that are floral. So I always try to work florals into my stuff because I just love them. A variety of cheeses, different cured meats, fruit, nuts, jams, olives, things like that, but done very aesthetically pretty.
So what is your favorite thing that you create? Is it the roses?
Yeah, probably. I know.
They were beautiful. And you were at Diesel David's in what was it? Like in what? No, what was it?
He did a ribbon cut. It was after hours.
After hours. I was trying to think what it was called. After hours. Yeah, it was a ribbon cutting ceremony. There were, I don't even know how many people were there, but there was enough food for everyone though.
Oh yeah. I refilled that thing over and over and over again. Which is fine. I mean, like that's what I do. And depending on the size of the event. But what I thought was really cool about Diesel David's one is like I said, I love incorporating quirky things into it. So I asked him if he had any car parts or decor items or things like that. And so I integrated those. I didn't put food on them, but I integrated them into my table to reflect his business. It's not just about me. Like I just want it to look good for them as well. And I have a lot of clients. I always tell them this is no additional charge or anything, but if you want to work in personal pieces, sometimes for engagement parties, people will put in just different things. I just did a retirement party for a holistic doctor or something, and we put on some kind of machine. I put it on a pedestal, and it's like, oh, here. I just think doing those kind of things, it gives the extra mile, and it's fun for me to get to integrate those kind of things, and it's meaningful to the other people as well. So.
Absolutely, because it's so special and personal to them, which I can only imagine how someone would see something that like has childhood photos of them or something so special that like their grandma's cake plate or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just kind of adds that emotion to it, which I think is so important. You're talking about not just providing a business, but an experience that is very personalized and special.
Yep.
Who's your ideal client?
Well, I really have been trying to dip my foot into some corporate events. I don't know how really to get into that, but I would like to try some corporate stuff. But I would say my ideal client is, I don't know. That's actually really hard to answer because I would think it would be women that are throwing parties or things like that. But then like Diesel David, I mean, good grief. He had 100 people at his event, and I still have people talk about that Diesel David's event. And then I've done another car company, like it's Flying Wrench. They just had a ribbon cutting. They're on Main Street. I do tons of ribbon cutting ceremonies, but same thing. Like I worked their helmet. It's I don't even know exactly what they do. I mean, they work on European cars and things like that, but they also make parts for race cars. And I know one of the people in there, he actually races cars. And so we had their... Oh, no. Oops.
we had there's a ghost in here.
Oopsie. Sorry. But anyway, the helmet was, Flying Wrench. It said it on there. And so I had that integrated into their table as well. So,
I bet they loved it.
Yeah, it was really cool. I don't know. I just like anytime I get to do something where people like let me do extra things, those are my favorites.
So have you found a level of satisfaction that you never thought you would? Because I'm imagining if you did hair and you didn't love it, it wasn't really filling your soul. Talk about what it's like to have something that really touches your heart.
I just feel really proud.
Aww.
I feel really proud of myself.
Good.
I know this is like dumb, but I let it get to my head because I didn't go to college, and I went to trade school, and now I have a business and I have employees, and it's like, am I qualified to do this? I don't know.
Don't you think it's such a mistake that people believe they have to go to college in order to succeed in this world?
Yes, but then I get into my head because it's like, well, I shouldn't be running a business. I have no business doing this. But I don't know.
It's those intrusive thoughts.
It is. They need to get out.
They do, because you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this business now? It's a year?
Yeah, it was a year in April.
April.
Can I tell you all the things that I've done? I'm so proud.
Oh my gosh, let's do it.
Okay.
I cannot wait to go on this journey with you.
Okay. So, number one, I was really brave, and I approached someone when they were filming a movie in downtown Woodstock, and I just wanted to feed them charcuterie. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm here in downtown Woodstock if you want some food. And she was like, oh, charcuterie, walk with me. And I was like, okay. And I had no idea who I was talking to. I just tried to find somebody that was friendly looking. And I showed her my stuff and on Instagram, and she was like, this is gorgeous. Would you be interested in being in the movie? We're doing a gala scene next week, and we would love to have like you do the charcuterie for the gala event. And I was like, yeah.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to be in a movie that's in post-production right now. It's called The Golden Influencer. It's a PureFlix film. And then I've gotten to be featured on American Dream TV. So that was really cool.
Tell me about that. What was that like?
Well, they came and they filmed me at my old Snowmies location. And I wish I was in my new location because it would have been so much cooler. But yeah, they reached out to me and they're like, hey, we're doing a feature on Woodstock and we love your business. We would like to do a spotlight on you. And so, yeah, I got to be on like live TV.
How did that feel?
Well, actually, I guess it wasn't live, but
but
we watched it.
You.
Yeah. I don't know how all that works, but
How
anyway.
did that feel? What was that like?
God, I was so nervous. Yeah, but it was really fun, and I was trying to teach them how to make a little charcuterie box. And God bless her, one of the girls had been getting over a cold, so she kept coughing, so we kept having to take like And my ADD brain is like, okay, what have I already said? What have I not said? Because then we would take a break and then refilm and this and that. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to turn out terrible. But then it aired and I was like, dang, they're really good at editing. And it was really cool.
Was
it was
it
really
neat
cool
to see yourself like that?
Yeah, it was. And I don't know. It was just that I'm really proud of that. And we had a watch party at my house. My parents came over and like all my kids were on the couch and it was fun. So that's really cool.
I'm so proud for you.
Yeah. And then I've gotten to go down to Cumulus Media, which is their 99X, Q100, like all of that. And I've gotten to do a little graze for them down there. I work closely with Spa Seidel. I do several events with them. And so I don't know.
You've got collaborations.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm like, who would have thought that people love cheese so much?
No, you have cheesy puns.
I do.
What are your cheesy puns?
Oh, so many of them. It ain't easy being cheesy. Life is Gouda. You better believe that you're going to get some good Gouda cheese here. I don't know. I mean, growing up, I've always been cheesy. Like, I mean, my dad has cheesy jokes, things like that. So the fact that I own something where I can like play off of that is so fun because I don't know, like I get to be people, they love me or they hate me and that's okay. That's my new thing.
What I love is that you are saying that taking a chance actually seems to really pay off sometimes. Like you just happen to see this person walking down the street and suggested, can I help you at all with some of your needs that you have with food? And the next thing you know, you're in a movie. Like that's the coolest story.
I know. I don't know.
It wouldn't have happened if you didn't approach her.
I know. And so what's funny is that I sat in my car because I had gone to eat in downtown and I happened to be parked across from where they were filming. And so I had a dialogue with myself for a good 10 minutes about like, just do it. Just walk over there. The worst they can say is no. Like, just hand them your business card and say, if y'all need some charcuterie, I'm happy to bring some over for you for snacks or whatever. And then, I don't know if you know him or not, but Chris Tom drove by and, he saw me standing there, like talking to myself and he's like, what are you doing? And I said, trying to work up the nerve to go over there and talk to someone. Oh, and by the way, the person I ended up talking to was the director
of the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so that was really cool. But anyway, Chris was like, just do it. Like, just go over there and do it. And you better text me later saying that you went over there. And I was like, you're right. I needed that. And so I just walked over. I'm like, hi.
What would you say your fearless formula is then? Is it, I mean, because everyone has a different one. But I mean, there are themes to it as well, which part of mine is to get out of my own way. Like I am analysis paralysis, and I can tell you 1,000 reasons why I shouldn't be doing something and why it might not be a good idea or why I'm too busy or why they're going to say no. I mean, I can tell you 1,000, but that's my biggest issue is allowing myself to talk myself out of chances like talking to a director walking down the street. Like, hey, do you happen to need a voiceover for anything? Like, why not? Like you said, they can only say no. But some days I have more bravery than others, and I don't know what all the causes for the different feelings that I have every day. But what would you say you would tell someone who is considering starting their own business and would have some of the same sort of thoughts? Maybe they'll say no and maybe it won't work, and I don't know enough about charcuterie to even own or like I don't even know how to do. I'm sure there are a million things behind your business that you have to do financially. That's daunting in itself.
Oh yeah. So I think just being okay with the word no and being okay with people telling you no and yeah, that's what I would go with because if you, I kind of adopted the saying to myself, the worst that they can say is no. And I've been kind of just going by that. And I have started approaching people for things. And the worst that they can say is no. And like, they're not, in my head, it would get to me if they said no previously, but they're not going to remember. Like, they're not caring if they say no or anything like that. It's not going to dwell on them for the rest of the day, like it would me. And so I think just being okay with people telling you no is worth taking the chances. Because if I had not done that, then I couldn't have been in this movie. There's a lot of things that I couldn't have done, and opportunities. And I think you have to make opportunities for yourself, because if you're just going to sit there and wait for people to approach you, it's not going to be the same. So, I have worked my tail off trying to grow the business to what it is. It's really cool. I've gotten I know that followers are not everything, right? Okay. And I don't even love social media that much. But I have to do it. But between all of my different social media outlets, I have 32, no, probably more than that, 34,000 followers now.
Oh my goodness.
I have a lot on TikTok, which I don't even really do on TikTok anymore. But it's just really cool because it's all been organic growth. I haven't done any paid ads or anything like that. And it's just been repeat business or referrals or things like that. And it's just being authentic to who I am, and seeing the organic growth of stuff has been really cool.
How important is networking to you? I think it's really important to my voiceover work, because you get to know people. I'm not just a voice, I'm a person, and it's a relationship you're trying to build. So what is it like for you? So I think that networking has been pivotal in when I got into downtown Woodstock, YPOW in particular. That one those are my people. I've gone to other networking events, and it's just is not for me, I guess. They're formal, aren't they?
They're very formal. I'm not a formal person, even though I do luxury charcuterie. I'm sitting here in sweatpants right now. I try to put myself together most of the time, but it's just it doesn't feel natural, or I don't know. It's hard for me to do a lot of the networking events. Not only that, I haven't honestly gotten that much business from going and doing them. And so my focus is, I come to YPOW, I bring Oliver with me because, I was homeschooling him.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, he has his own business. Shout out to Autism Artistry and Luminescent Treasures Emporium for my two kids' businesses.
Awesome.
But YPOW has been really great, and it feels like people really care about your business and cheer you on and want to support you. Whereas sometimes other ones, it just feels very transactional.
Yes. What can I do for you? What can you do for me?
Yes. It doesn't feel like they want to get to know you as a person. And those are the type of people that I want to surround myself with, are people that are going to cheer you on, really care about what's going on in your life beyond your business, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I do feel like networking is important, but I think you have to find the right network for what feels right to you.
Where do you get most of your business then?
Social media. And Google. I get a lot of Google business. I actually just had someone find me in I'm about to go out to Decula for something. I'm like, how did you find me on Google? She was like, I was just Googling and I found you. I'm like, awesome.
Amazing.
But I get a lot of Google business. And then, like I was telling you before, the ghost that came in here that knocked down my time-lapse video that I was trying to do. Social media. And I've tried to change the way that I do social media to be more myself and more organic than trying to fit the formula of what I think that people want to see.
Oh, that's my issue right there. That's why I don't do it. I'm like, I hate doing this. It should be fun, right? I should want to do it, but I just I don't know.
And people have told me that I need to be in my videos more so that, because I guess I'm relatable. I don't know.
Nice.
So I try to occasionally, I'll do dumb videos and people love them. They get so, we just did this video. Have you heard all the pretty girls walk like this?
Yes.
Okay, so I made one of those when we were walking into our charcuterie event, and we were dragging all of our, we had crates on wheels and wagons full of decor and stuff. And I put all the charcuterie artists walk like this. It got like a lot of views.
Oh my gosh.
And so just stupid stuff like that. People
find it entertaining.
Yeah, it is. And then I don't know. I have a love-hate with social media.
I do
You
too.
have to do it.
I think I have a hate. I mean, I got to be braver. But I like that you're talking about finding things that are entertaining. Mm-hmm. It's not just me saying, hey, I'm about to do this interview. Like, no one's going to care. But if I do something fun or funny, people will like
we're
it.
actually going to make a TikTok when this is over.
Oh.
Yeah. And do something fun.
I should have tried to look nice today.
Well, I have on no
radio.
makeup, sweatpants, and
this is radio. No one cares. So
Botox yesterday. So
we're all set, girl. We're all set. I got lip gloss.
My husband yesterday tried to peel off my little injection spot right there. He thought I had something. I was like, oh, don't touch me. I just got infected.
That's my Botox.
Hurts.
I have a final question for you.
Okay.
So we have all of the concert series that happens during the summer. And so I was wondering how your business, do you bring charcuterie boxes? Do you have something there at the concerts?
Yeah. So I've been at the last 2 concerts.
It was Rick Springfield, the last one.
I know. I was up top.
Oh.
I thought the concerts were going to go a lot differently than
really?
they have. I'm not going to lie.
I haven't been to them yet, so I don't know.
Well, for me in particular. But I think it kind of gets lost in translation because I don't have a branded tent like Chick-fil-A or things like that. And so, yeah, I'm there, and I wish that more people would come buy my stuff.
I got you.
But what I would love is doing pre-orders and have people pick them up, or can even pick them up at the concert.
Perfect. Yeah.
So
that sounds perfect. I was thinking it's such a nice match, for the type of people that go to these shows and the fact that they're there for a really long time.
Yeah.
And do you need a tent that's got your brand on it?
I don't know. I try to make my stuff look pretty and aesthetic, but then I'm battling funnel cakes. So, what do people want? Charcuterie or funnel cakes? I don't know.
I want both. I want it all.
Yeah. And so, I love doing pre-orders for stuff. And then I also want to say that I sell something called Better Than Booze. And I'm the only person in Georgia that sells this brand. And so I've been selling those at the concert, and they've done really well.
What is Better Than Booze? I've never heard of this.
So I don't sell alcohol. It's not alcohol. It's CBD THC cocktails, like canned cocktails.
What?
I know. They're delicious. I sell grapefruit paloma, elderberry gin and tonic, and mint mojito with lime.
How did you get to be the only person in Georgia that sells these?
Well, because I found them on vacation, and I wrote the wholesaler, and I was like, these are delicious. How can I have these? And so right now, my claim to fame is I'm the only person in Georgia that has them, but I'm sure that won't be long. They're based out of Nashville, so I'm sure they'll be making their way to Georgia. I actually have people call me that have found that I sell them, that have been ordering them from online or things like that.
Oh, wow. And now they can come to you.
Yeah, they can.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so those are kind of cool. But
think about that. Just take a second, though, and think how you really liked this. You thought maybe I could sell that. And you wrote to the wholesaler. And the next thing you know, you're the only person in Georgia. Like, that takes initiative.
Being brave.
The
worst they can say is no.
I'm going to make that the theme. The worst anyone can say is no.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, how can people get in touch with you if they would like to check everything that you have out?
Okay, so I have a website that is also being redone, so don't judge it too harshly. And the website is theboardandbox.com, and all of my social media handles are theboardandbox. I am most active on Instagram, so if people want to get in touch with me, that is the best way. Actually, the best way is by email if you're trying to place an order.
Okay.
And it's hello@theboardandbox.com.
Well, Ashley, thank you so much for sharing your story. I have been so curious about your business, and especially after seeing the event that you had at the Reeves House with Stone Payton. It was just so beautiful, and I thought about it a lot afterwards, about how you can go to an event and feel like, yes, I was fed and it was nice and I loved it, but how often do you get to kind of get a sensory experience in different ways? Your eyes can't even believe what you're seeing, that like, I shouldn't touch it, it's too beautiful. But then, of course, you need to eat it because
Yeah.
that's why you're there. But no, how nice is that? I mean, and just I appreciated how much care you took in making this very, very special. And so I can see that your heart is in it, and I hope everyone else that gets to experience what you do sees and feels it too. And so, yeah, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for inviting me. I loved it.
Yay! And thank you all for listening to Fearless Formula. And again, this is Sharon Klein reminding you that with knowledge and understanding, we can all have our own fearless formula. Have a great day.